In the game of Mafia, it's not just about who kills who, but also what role you play in that murder. Are you an innocent bystander, a mysterious stranger, maybe even the killer's accomplice? In this game, there are several roles with distinct abilities and objectives. The town must work together to identify and eliminate the mafiosos. But if the killers outnumber the innocents, the odds are stacked against them. In our story today, we have an interesting scenario where there is only one knife, 2 families, and 4 people in total. So you might be thinking, isn't this pretty obvious? Like, won't the mafia just stab each other? Well, not so fast. There's more to this story than meets the eye. Let's dive into the details and see how things unfold. The year is 1946, and post-World War II. A black market for weapons has sprung up across Europe. Our story takes us to the Italian city of Florence, renowned for its Renaissance art and birthplace of the famous Medici family. But instead of focusing on the artistic legacy of the time, this tale delves into the darker side of the city, the underground world of crime and intrigue. Amidst the bustling marketplaces and ancient cathedrals, secret war is being waged between 2 rival mafia families, the Corsas and the De Lucas. Each family wants to control the lucrative black market and expand their influence. Tensions are high, and the situation is volatile. Amidst this brewing conflict, 2 men meet at a local bar, Don Vincenzo Corleone and Don Francesco De Luca. They are both heads of their respective families and sworn enemies. Now, here's the catch. Both Dons are seeking to expand their criminal empires, and they're eyeing the same target, the lucrative weapon smuggling route. This common goal creates an uneasy alliance between them, forcing the Dons to put aside their differences and work together. But why, you ask? Well, their plan involves acquiring a special key item, a lockpick set that will allow them to break into Fort Knox and steal gold bars from the U.S. military. However, to pull off this audacious heist, they need someone with particular skills. Enter Bruno Marsala, a master safecracker with a shady past. Bruno is the kind of guy you don't want to mess with. He's cool, collected, and incredibly precise when it comes to cracking safes. To secure his services, Don Vincenzo offers him a deal he can't refuse, promising him half of the gold bars if he helps them in the heist. But Bruno isn't the only one who knows his way around locks. Salvatore Santino, a former apprentice of Bruno, also has a knack for cracking safes. And guess who offers him a similar deal? You guessed it, Don Francesco. So we have 2 rival mafia families, 2 safecrackers, and a whole lot of gold at stake. What could possibly go wrong? As the planning for the heist intensifies, the stage is set for a thrilling showdown. Will the Corsas and the De Lucas join forces to pull off the ultimate heist? Or will their greed and mistrust tear them apart? Stay tuned to find out as the plot thickens. Our story now shifts to the crucial moment when the 2 groups are assembled in a remote villa in the Tuscan countryside. It's like a secret hideout straight out of a spy movie. Here, Don Vincenzo and Don Francesco meet with Bruno and Salvatore respectively to discuss the upcoming mission. The tension is palpable as these 4 men, each driven by their own interests, come together under one roof. For the Corsages, the meeting goes smoothly. Don Vincenzo and Bruno share a mutual respect, recognizing each other's skills and expertise. Bruno is intrigued by the challenge of cracking the safe at Fort Knox, and the promise of riches is an added bonus. However, the same cannot be said for the De Lucas. Don Francesco's meeting with Salvatore is marked by distrust and deception. Salvatore's loyalty is questionable, and he seems to have his own agenda, which puts Don Francesco on edge. But he's desperate and needs Salvatore's expertise for the heist. So he offers him a deal, promising him a hefty sum of money and a luxurious life in exchange for his services. As the meetings conclude, the fate of the mission hangs in the balance. The Corsas seem poised and ready, while the De Lucas are entangled in a web of mistrust and deceit. With plans laid out and alliances formed, the stage is set for an exciting showdown. Will the Corsas execute their plan flawlessly, or will the De Lucas expose Salvatore's treachery? Only time will tell. Meanwhile, as the men gear up for their daring mission, let's take a closer look at Bruno and Salvatore, the 2 safecrackers with a shared skill set but different motivations. Bruno Marsala, our first safecracker, is a man of few words. He's mysterious, cunning, and highly skilled in his trade. Bruno has a reputation that precedes him. People either whisper his name in fear or admiration. He doesn't care much for the finer things in life and prefers to stay in the shadows. Salvatore Santino, on the other hand, is a smooth talker with a silver tongue. He's charming, charismatic, and equally adept at cracking safes. Salvatore craves the finer things in life: luxury cars, expensive suits, and beautiful women. He loves being the center of attention and enjoys flaunting his wealth. Their paths cross when they receive offers from the rival mafia families. Bruno chooses to align himself with Don Vincenzo and the Corsage because of his inherent love for solitude and the allure of a grand challenge. Meanwhile, Salvatore sides with Don Francesco and the Delusias because he thrives in the spotlight and enjoys the finer things in life. Now, as the story unfolds, we discover a surprising twist. Bruno and Salvatore are actually cousins, separated by a continent. They were once partners in crime until a disagreement over a heist led them to part ways. Bruno returned to Italy, changed his name, and became a recluse. Salvatore, on the other hand, went to America and became a notorious safecracker. The stage is now set for an exciting confrontation as old grudges resurface and loyalties are tested. Will their familial bond affect their choices? Or will the allure of the heist and the rivalries of the mafia families take precedence? Stay tuned to find out. With the teams assembled, the plot thickens, revealing unexpected connections and raising the stakes of the mission. As the story progresses, the characters become pawns in a game of cat and mouse, where trust is scarce and danger lurks around every corner. We delve deeper into the characters' backstories, exploring their motivations and the events that shape them into the cunning individuals they are today. Flashbacks reveal Bruno's reasons for leaving the flashy life of a safecracker behind and his desire to lead a quieter existence in Florence.
We also learn about Salvatore's rise to fame in the United States and the circumstances that led him to reunite with his estranged cousin Bruno. Meanwhile,
the rivalry between the Corsage and the De Lucas deepens, adding tension to the plot. We discover that the conflict between the two families dates back several years. Rooted in a power struggle over the lucrative black market weapon trade in post-war Italy, Don Vincenzo and Don Francesco's animosity towards each other drives their desire to outmaneuver and eliminate their rivals. Making the mission to steal the lockpick set a critical first step in their plans for dominance. As the story reaches its climax, the two groups prepare to carry out their plans. Will their familial bond hold, or will their choices be driven by self-interest and the allure of the heist? Stay tuned to find out as the game of cat and mouse comes to a thrilling conclusion. The fate of the mission hangs in the balance as the two groups prepare to carry out their plans. Bruno and Salvatore, despite their familial bond, find themselves on opposing sides. Bruno, loyal to Don Vincenzo and the Corsage, remains committed to the original plan, while Salvatore, swayed by Don Francesco's promises, considers a deviation to ensure his own success. As the tension rises, the question of who will outmaneuver the other becomes increasingly crucial. Will Bruno's quiet determination and intimate knowledge of the terrain give the Corsage the upper hand, or will Salvatore's charisma and quick thinking help the Delusias secure the lockpicks and claim victory? Meanwhile, the rivalry between the two mafia families adds another layer of complexity to the plot. Don Vincenzo and Don Francesco's animosity towards each other intensifies, leading to a series of confrontations and close calls. As the body count rises, the remaining members of each family must navigate a treacherous path filled with deception, betrayal, and unforeseen challenges. The story reaches a thrilling climax as the two groups finally clash. In a showdown that will determine the fate of the mission and the future of the mafia families, amidst the chaos and bloodshed, unexpected alliances are forged and sacrifices are made. The outcome of the conflict not only hinges on their individual skills and strategies, but also on the choices they make in the face of adversity. Who will emerge victorious and claim the spoils of war? Will it be the Corsages, led by Bruno's precision and Don Vincenzo's strategic brilliance, or the Delusias, banking on Salvatore's agility and Don Francesco's ruthless determination? The answer lies in the final moments of this gripping narrative. As the dust settles, the aftermath of the battle reveals the true cost of ambition and the consequences of unchecked greed. The survivors are left to grapple with the loss and betrayal they have endured, forever changed by the events that have transpired. The story concludes with a sense of melancholy, reflecting on the themes of loyalty, betrayal, and the destructive nature of unchecked ambition. It serves as a reminder that the pursuit of power and wealth often comes at a great cost, and that the bonds of family and friendship are the most valuable treasures of all. And there you have it, folks. Another gripping tale from the world of Mafia. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more exciting content. Thanks for watching.